Someone is about to drop a mysterious black bag right at your door. You don't hear the footsteps. You don't hear the knock. But something invisible shifts in the wind tonight, and the sky has already darkened in a way that feels unnatural. The moon trembles behind torn clouds, and the stars seem to flicker like warning lights, trying to communicate something that words cannot hold. A shadow has broken through the ordinary, and it is heading straight toward your home. This is not a random moment. This has been coordinated from the other side, with the precision of a demonic contract. The person carrying that bag is not just a stranger. They have been assigned by a force that detests your light and the coming favor over your name. Their job is to drop something at your threshold that will spiritually rattle the very roots of your household. They are not human in intent. They are cloaked in the emotions of envy and destruction. Archangel Michael says, "The one carrying it has no face in the realm of the spirit. They are empty of soul, but full of purpose. And the purpose is deeply personal, because the bag carries something crafted in darkness, something summoned in secret meetings, something whispered through rituals meant to delay your divine calling. You weren't meant to know it was coming, but heaven broke the silence early to protect you. The winds carry the scent of wet ash. Something has been burned in your name. The spirit realm has heard your name called out more than once by someone whose lips once smiled at you. Now, tonight, their intentions manifest through this delivery. But listen closely, the bag is not meant for your hands. It is meant for your doorstep, to send a wave of disturbance into your atmosphere. But the angels have already taken position. God says, "I would not let it cross your threshold without sending my word ahead of it." You are not alone. The air around your home has shifted because divine guards have been activated. And they have not only seen the figure approach, they have already identified what spirit sent them. This is a confrontation disguised as a delivery. It is not from a courier. It is from a realm that wanted to reclaim what you escaped from. 3 nights ago, your spirit stirred without explanation. You couldn't sleep. You felt cold in a warm room. That was the beginning of the movement. The moment you felt uneasy was the moment the dark meeting ended and the assignment was sent out. Your sensitivity was not random. It was heaven tapping your awareness before the physical sign showed up. You must understand this bag is more than leather or fabric. It carries something intangible. Inside is a spiritual contract sealed with bitterness and jealousy, signed by someone whose blood may even match yours. They believe that if you receive what is next in your destiny, they will lose everything. And so, they tried to stop the train before it arrived. Archangel Michael says, "We are surrounding the perimeter now. The air is tightening to expose what was hidden in shadows. The approach is nearly complete, and the person carrying the bag thinks you are unaware. But they don't know who walks with you. They don't see the light that radiates from the windows of your soul. You are not defenseless. You are watched, covered, and chosen. The closer they come, the more the sky shifts. The clouds begin to part slightly, but not out of peace, out of pressure. A confrontation between realms is about to happen at your doorstep. You will not be harmed, but the moment is real. The war is real. And the delivery is a symbol of a much older struggle between what was meant to take you out and what God ordained to raise you up. And now, the bag is just minutes away from touching your property line. The moment the black bag touches your doorstep, something ancient tries to awaken. A vibration, unheard by human ears, shudders through the soil beneath your home. It isn't just a simple item, it is a vessel, a carrier of spiritual weight. Within it lies a bitter mixture of stolen intentions, reversed prayers, and delayed destinies. It was crafted for one reason, only to disrupt your divine timeline. This isn't the first time such a thing has come close to your house. But this time, it came further than before, because someone behind the scenes has grown bolder. Inside the bag is a lock of something that once belonged to you. A token tied to your spiritual DNA. It may be a photograph, a piece of paper with your name scratched into it, or a physical object you thought you lost. But it's there, and it's been used without your consent. God says, they thought they could steal your power and return it as poison. What was once a sacred symbol in your life was taken and twisted, reshaped in darkness, and now lies hidden beneath layers of cloth and spiritual fog. But this bag cannot fulfill its dark mission, because the Spirit of the Lord hovers over your home like a blazing shield, and the light is burning holes through every demonic thread stitched into that parcel. Inside the bag is also a false prophecy, something handwritten, something meant to curse your days ahead. It was written under a full moon, spoken over fire, then sealed with silence. The enemy intended you to read it and unknowingly agree to your own destruction. It's not just symbolic, it carries real weight in the spirit realm. But heaven says, that page will catch flame before your fingers ever touch it. Archangel Michael says, "Y intercepted the activation the moment it crossed the first gate of your neighborhood. And now, the contents of that bag lie dormant, its power neutralized, but only because your soul stayed alert. Had you opened the door just 5 minutes earlier, had you stepped out without discernment, the effect would have taken root in your atmosphere, but you were spared by divine delay. There is something else inside, a gift, but not one meant to bless. It's a decoy, something valuable looking. Maybe money, maybe jewelry, maybe a rare item someone knows you've long desired, but it's bait, touched and cursed, spiritually rigged. If you were to bring it into your space, it would not bring favor. It would unravel what God has been building around you. That's why the bag was left outside, not handed to you directly. The enemy wants you to invite it in, to choose to bring it into your space, to claim it willingly, because that's the only way the curse could enter undetected. But you are not that naive. Your spirit has already been stirred. The warning came in dreams, in random thoughts, in strange delays. And now, you know, the enemy miscalculated. God says, you have matured beyond their expectations. They thought you would fall for the glitter of the trap, but you have grown. The bag's energy has begun to fade now. It's not because it's harmless, but because your recognition has robbed it of access. Darkness cannot operate in exposed light, and that's what you just did. You saw it, you named it, and now it cannot continue its plan. Your ancestors are watching. Some wept when they saw this happening again, because generations before you fell into similar snares. Temptations disguised as blessings, charm covering betrayal, gifts laced with shadows. But you are the first to reject it. You are the first to listen early enough. You are the first to destroy it before it entered the house. And because of that, you just altered something in your bloodline. The bag may still sit at your door, but its power has been stripped. It no longer carries a live curse. It now carries the record of your resistance, and heaven has already begun rewriting your story because of it. The person who arranged this dark delivery is not a stranger to your energy. They have touched your hand. They have seen your eyes fill with tears. They have once laughed with you, and perhaps even cried in your presence. But they are not who they pretended to be. Behind closed doors, behind screens, behind locked rooms, they made a decision. And that decision was to stop your rise, no matter the cost. They whispered your name not in prayer, but in plotting. With trembling lips masked by envy, they entered into agreement with a force that feeds off manipulation and silent hatred. They pretended to bless you with words in public while they cursed your name in secret. And when their own life started to fall apart, they believed you were the reason. So, they called for spiritual help, not from heaven, but from elsewhere. God says, they used what I gave them against you. This person, someone who once benefited from your kindness, has now turned that favor into fuel. They watched you grow. They watched you rise in spirit, in insight, in favor. But instead of being inspired, they became terrified, because your light exposed their shadows. Your strength reminded them of everything they abandoned in themselves. So they hired darkness to do what they couldn't do themselves: silence you. Archangel Michael says their soul is in chaos, and they've opened a door they cannot close. The one who ordered this assignment has already begun to feel the consequences. Their dreams are filled with screams they cannot silence. Mirrors in their house no longer reflect clearly, and every attempt to bless themselves backfires, because they targeted someone who is spiritually covered. And now, the curse circles back to its sender. You must understand, this betrayal didn't happen overnight. It has been growing for years in hidden layers. Little by little, jealousy hardened into resentment. They kept smiling. They kept pretending. But every good thing that happened to you felt like a slap to their wounded pride. When you found peace, they grew anxious. When you broke free from a toxic situation, they secretly wished it had broken you instead. They know details about your life they were never meant to share, and some of those details were handed to the person who prepared that bag. This wasn't a random attack. It was custom made for your timeline. And yet, despite all their planning, one thing they didn't expect was how fast heaven would respond. The trap was prepared, but the angels moved faster. You've seen glimpses of this person's darkness before. Small slips in conversation. Moments when their smile didn't match their words. A strange silence when others celebrated you. Those were not coincidences. Those were spiritual leaks. Evidence of a heart divided between pretending and plotting. But now their mask is falling, and soon their name will echo back to you, not through gossip, but through divine exposure. God says, "You will not have to confront them. I will do it myself." You are not being called to revenge. You are being called to awareness, and from that awareness comes wisdom. From that wisdom comes protection, and from protection comes victory. The bag was the final act, the signature at the end of a long letter of silent war. And now, heaven has read it, line by line. Judgment is already in motion. There is one more thing you must know. This person still watches you. They check your movements. They monitor your blessings. They are obsessed not with your failure, but with understanding how you continue to survive what should have destroyed you. And that's where their defeat begins. Because the moment they realize it's not you holding yourself together, but divine hands, they will crumble under the weight of their own schemes. Archangel Michael says, "The sword has already been drawn. The cords are being cut, and their name is being removed from your circle in the realm of the Spirit." This is your separation, your deliverance. You're crossing into a space where only truth can survive. Let the mask fall. Let the truth rise. The one who plotted against you thought they ended something. But in heaven's eyes, they only triggered the next level of your anointing. From the highest throne to the farthest corners of your street, Archangel Michael's gaze never wavered. Every footstep, every breath, every whisper of the dark delivery was seen, heard, and recorded in the eternal scrolls. Heaven's eyes do not sleep. The divine surveillance over your life is ceaseless, unyielding and fierce. They are the unseen armies that have been stationed long before the black bag ever appeared. Archangel Michael says, "The skies have been torn open above you, and the hosts of heaven stand guard." This is no ordinary protection. It is an intense, unbreakable cord of light woven by angels with flaming swords and hearts burning with holy fire. The bag's shadows tried to stretch across your doorstep, but the divine wall stood firm, unyielding, impenetrable. The curses within that bag could not pass without facing the blazing light of eternal justice. You felt it, the sudden stillness around your home, the charged silence that made even the wind hesitate. That was not mere coincidence. It was heaven's presence, descending like a thick fog that shields the innocent. The spiritual war is invisible to most, but tonight you witnessed its echoes. The enemies tried to close the door to your destiny, with that black bag, but the angels held the keys to your future firmly in their grasp. God says, I am your fortress when darkness tries to storm your gates. The moment the bag crossed the threshold, the heavens unleashed a spiritual assessment, a scan through realms visible and invisible. The curses, the traps, the demonic signatures within the bag were analyzed and dismantled piece by piece. What was designed to poison your soul has been transformed into fuel for your ascent. The darkness was repelled, and a new light was ignited in its place. Archangel Michael says, every chain forged in envy has been broken by the power of your faith. The enemy sought to lock you in fear and confusion. Instead, their chains shattered. The spiritual battle is not over, but the tide has shifted. The forces aligned against you have been exposed and weakened. What once was a threat now stands as a monument to your resilience. Your home, your sanctuary, now radiates a divine barrier, a glowing, invisible shield that repels negativity and spiritual poison. The same angels who watched over the black bag now stand sentinel at every door and window. Your prayers, your sacrifices, your moments of doubt, all have summoned reinforcements stronger than any dark plan. The enemy's frustration is palpable. Their plans unravel with each breath you take in faith. But heaven remains patient. The final victory is not just in repelling the bag, but in what you do next. The angels wait for your next move, your choice to rise fully into the blessing that has been prepared. This is not just protection, this is preparation for transformation. God says, do not fear the darkness that approaches, for it only makes my light shine brighter within you. The night may seem long, the shadows may press closer, but the dawn breaks with unstoppable power. The black bag was a test, a signal, a spark that revealed who walks with you and who stands against you. Heaven's response was swift, and its promise is sure. Your spiritual armor is stronger now. Your soul's eyes have been opened wider. You have seen what was meant to destroy you, and instead, you have become unbreakable.